Hey there everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of My Orchid Adventures with me, Maria Young. So in today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to be updating you on this Catasetum type orchid. Now if you guys remember, about 2 months ago we did discover that there were 14 possible growth points on this orchid. Just one Psuedobulb. How amazing is that? So today I'm going to give you an update on exactly what's been going on with it, and I have to tell you some pretty amazing things have been going on with it, and also a very unusual occurrence has happened to it as well. Now if you guys did not see that video and you want to check out the step-by-step play of what we did to this Catasetum orchid, please be sure to go ahead and click on this link right here and it'll take you to that video. But as for us, we're going to take a closer look at what has been happening to this Catasetum orchid. Dun-dun-dun-dun! Okay folks, and here we are. This is the Catasetum with the 14 possible growth points, and as you can see, look how much it's grown. You are seeing 2 actual new growths that are growing its foliage quite lovely and is looking so healthy. If we take a look into the media, we are also going to see those roots. Look at that. Growing quite hardy right there. And let's go ahead and take this actual bulb itself out to find out exactly what's going on. Oh my goodness, look at those 2 new growths. My oh my, have they grown quite healthy. Look at that foliage right there, doing quite awesome. And let's take a look at those roots. Woo-wee, nice roots so far. And look at that, they're so close together. I was afraid that these would not be capable of growing. I actually thought that one would choke out the other, but thus far it seems to be doing fine. And I do believe that other one right there that has grown almost as big as the first one right there, I think it is hardy enough and big enough to fight for its own space that we won't have to worry about it actually being choked out. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look also at the other growth points growing alongside of it. If we take a look right here, you are seeing this growth point that has plumped up rather well, and I do believe that one right there will become a new growth as well. And also this one right here, still a possible chance, I'm not quite sure, but it is plumping up as well, so there is potential in that also. Now the other ones that I was talking about before, no action at all on those, so I don't believe that they will pull through for us, unfortunately. Now, I don't know how well this camera is capturing this, but there is actually a growth point right here, and this has actually been growing and plumping up as well. Unfortunately, if we take a close look, it is also right on top of these new roots. So yeah, I do not believe, even though it is trying to grow for us, I don't believe it has a chance because of all of these roots that will eventually consume it. So I believe this one will be choked out. Now if we take a look on the other side, we will notice that there are growth points that have continued to grow. As you can see right here, I believe this one will come into action. Also this one right here, and definitely, as you can see, this one right here. Now there's also one more right here that is plumping up, so possible chance on that, but that is all that I can see thus far. So in total, how many do we have of these growth points that have come into action? Well, that actually all depends, because remember I was telling you that something very freaky was going on with this Catasetum right here? Well, indeed, something very strange is going on with this particular one, this large new growth. If we take a close look right there, can you see it? Yeah, there's something growing right there. And I don't know exactly what it is. It's growing within this inner part right here. I actually thought that this was going to be a spike, and I was like, wow, a spike already on such a tiny thing. But then it amazed me even more to think, could this be a possible new growth on another new growth of this Catasetum? That is unusual, but I am believing so because it does appear to be a new growth. As you can see, that certain pattern in there, and it almost appears to be dividing at the very tip top as well. Can you see that? So I do think this is going to be another new growth. How unusual is that? So in total, including this one, because I'm almost certain that this is a new growth, we have, drum roll please, about 8 or even possibly 9 new growths altogether. That will be so amazing for this one Pseudobulb. I cannot wait. And indeed, we will have to see if this can spike this year. I believe it can, because indeed this is a new growth that is so healthy, and they are becoming so huge. Now, you guys may be wondering, with this new growth right here that I definitely see is growing and will come about as a new growth, if it weren't for these roots right here, you're probably wondering, why won't I just go ahead and remove that new growth altogether to give this more space for it to grow? Well, I actually experimented with that, folks, and I will have to show you the results in another video, but there is a definite reason why I will not be removing any new growths on any of these Catasetums, because there indeed can be such tragic results. And again, I'll show you in a future video. So I am definitely thrilled to see the amazing results of this one Catasetum bulb right here. Indeed, I consider this a success. What do you guys think? And indeed, this is the way that we are going to be growing this Catasetum right here. Definitely am excited to see what transpires and what amazing things we will learn with this Catasetum orchid. So indeed, stay tuned for more, as I will also be updating you on these as well. So much to learn, folks. And although 8 or 9 new growths are far less than 14 new growths, I do have to tell you, folks, I am not complaining one bit. I am still absolutely thrilled to have 8 or 9 new growths on one bulb. Can you imagine how large this will get in such a short time? So indeed, we're hoping that we will get multiple growths continuously, because multiple growths means multiple spikes. Wouldn't that be awesome, folks? It indeed would be. And there you have it, folks. That is a complete 14 possible growth points on this Catasetum wrap. Now, you guys have got to let me know exactly what do you think is going to happen with this Catasetum. And of course, as you guys know, I did decide not to remove the actual new growths, in the fact that it is kind of risky to do that, especially with what I found out and what I experienced with the ones that I had done it to. So we're not going to do that with this Catasetum orchid, and I wouldn't advise any of you guys to do that as well. As you have seen, even though they do have sufficient roots, I do not believe that as a new growth they are sufficient enough to grow on their own, and I do have evidence. It's not just a thought, folks, it is actual and factual as far as my experience. Now, if you guys have had an experience where you removed new growths and it grew just fine for you, please be sure to share that experience with us as well, and let us know exactly what you did to go ahead and promote that growth to grow on its own. I'm really interested in knowing if any of you guys have experienced this as well. Now, as of right now, folks, I have so many Catasetum propagations that I still have to update you guys on. The extreme propagation, also some new propagations that I did and did it differently, and I want to share that with you. So I hope you guys stay tuned to those episodes. You guys really don't want to miss it. I've been learning so much with these Catasetum orchids, and again, I have to tell you, if I am going to propagate an orchid, I will propagate the Catasetum varieties, because indeed they have shown and proven just how hardy they are, being able to be propagated individually so that they would grow their individual growth. And as I've stated, a lot of my orchids or my Catasetum varieties really grow one at a time as far as new growths. And since I've done different propagations, they are showing me that they will multiply in their growth. So indeed, this is a great way to get more Catasetum type orchids. Now that's about it, folks. I sure do appreciate you hanging out with me. Please be sure to like, share, and also subscribe. And as you guys know, I am on Facebook as well. Join me there at My Orchid Adventures. And I'm on eBay selling some phenomenal orchids, so I hope you'll check me out there also. And as you guys already know, indeed, I truly do love you guys all. Mwah.